All right, guys, welcome back to the channel here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today I have for you the 2021 BMW 228i xDrive here that has quite a lot packed into it for as tiny and as light of a vehicle it is. I'm just going to start by saying this thing handles amazing and is surprisingly quick for only having 228 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It's pretty light at 3,300 and some odd pounds, but we'll dive more into the specifics a bit later on that. But right now I just kind of want to go over a little bit more of the exterior. So this is BMW's Alpine White, which actually is very, very nice color. It's kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's not, doesn't have any really yellow in it. It's just a really nice white. And they've always had a really nice white color. BMW always has. And then we come down here to the wheels, which are 18 by 7.5 inch wide wheel. Gives this thing absolutely amazing handling. It's a 225/40 ZR18 tire on here specifically that makes this thing handle very well. And even though these are some all seasons, this thing absolutely very predictable, great handling vehicle, which BMW, you know, makes great handling vehicles. The braking is done with a twin piston caliper in the front, floating caliper with an basically 13-inch rotor in the front. It's 12.99 inch rotor, which, you know, comes to about 13 inches. Now when we go to braking in the rear, with an 11.8 inch rotor in the rear, and this has a single piston caliper, which overall, even with just having a general normal floating caliper setup on this thing brakes absolutely amazing. And I believe it's because of the semi-metallic brake pads that they chose for the vehicle. It's absolutely great with how they set this whole vehicle up, and the fact that it also weighs, you know, 3,300 pounds is also a big factor in that. But yeah, this I believe is one of probably the nicest looking BMWs I've seen in a little bit, especially for a 2 Series. It actually, you know, I enjoy that they made the wheels a bit more flush with the body, and the fact that it, you know, it doesn't look kind of basic. It's absolutely just a mean looking machine. It actually looks pretty good. I would daily drive this. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below just so you can see many more of my car reviews, and if you want more of my other reviews or personal vlog stuff, whatever you want to see down below. But make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now we're going to dive into the interior here. For this door trim, it's a really cool color. It's this black and this really awesome orange color that is just very obnoxious and bright, that is not overpowering. It's not like something from the 70s or the 80s where like the carpet was matching the same color. It's just like a very nice aesthetic there. My favorite thing about the doors on these is that they are completely frameless. So they just have the lower area, and then around the window is completely frameless. So that's one of my favorite things, because I just hate sometimes I smack my head or smash my head right into the frame of the door, just because, you know, I'm talented like that. Inside here you have the same color for the seats here. That's a really nice orange that also goes and flows with the black interior as well, that matches the door panel. I think it's absolutely amazing. The steering wheel is a very nice BMW leather wrapped steering wheel with heated steering wheel option, and, you know, cruise control and radio controls all on here. Of course, normal horn, but very nice, comfortable steering wheel to grip onto. Over here in the center, we do have a 10.25 inch instrument cluster, which is very nice. And then over here, it is an 8.8 inch, I guess they call it the central infotainment cluster, basically the same thing, but you know, so you can control your radio. Very nice setup. In my personal opinion, it does sit a little bit high though. And as I've said before, I love having manual controls for your HVAC system. It is one of my favorite things. So love the manual controls on here. This one does have heated seats. I believe that is a standard option on this. And you do have regular radio controls with, you know, presets. So if you have the radio set up, and then forward and back, and volume knob here, very nice. I love that it has an actual knob, unlike buttons. Down here in the center console, we do have a nice wireless charger right here, right in front of the cup holders, a USB port, the nice shifter here, which I absolutely enjoy how it feels, updated design, and control knob for controlling the infotainment screen up here, your start-stop button, all of your basically drive modes all right here ready to go, parking brake, and your auto H button, which is the auto hold mode. So when you get to a stoplight and you have your foot on the brake, you can let your foot off the brake and it will automatically keep the car stationary for you. So to go again, you'll just hit the gas and it'll take off for you. One of my other favorite things is there's all these little lights all around the interior of the vehicle to be able to make it ambient and just not overpowering when you're driving at night, but so you can still slightly see things in the vehicle. It's very, very nice feature. We do have a very nice glove box that kind of goes pretty deep back in there, but it is very, very nice. You kind of do have this diamond-like trim that runs all the way across the dash here, and also flows into the door panels as well. Also right up here, you do have a nice little 12-volt socket with a little plug so you don't drop anything into it. Now in this phone pocket, there's also a little rubber piece down here to keep your phone from like sliding around or flying out. Center console armrest is also in this same orange color. If we open that up, we do have a very tiny, I'd say kind of tiny center console here, but you can still put stuff in there. It's not horrible. It also has a charger for USB-C. Up top here on your center console display, you have your sunroof controls here as well as your map light controls and the door controls, so the lights will come on with the doors on. Airbag light on, your SOS button should anything happen. But on the roof, you do have this really, really massive sunroof that spans from the front to the back, which as a kid, I personally would have loved. For sun visors, you do have a nice little mirror up here and a light. It comes in very handy. Rear view mirror, pretty basic, frameless, which I personally like, and then it has sensors for dimming. Now, in my opinion, a weird, interesting feature on BMW seats is this little pull-up tab here that allows the seat to extend there, which if you're a very tall person, that's probably pretty nice to have the extra support for your longer legs, but definitely not something for like someone like me that's 5'8". In the rear here, we also do still have a frameless door, which is still one of my favorite features on pretty much any vehicle. You do have nice map pockets with this like mesh holder here, so you can actually see if you've left something in, which I personally enjoy because you throw something back in there, you don't see it in there, you forget about it. The seats, of course, are also the same color, which I personally enjoy. Just brings it out, and the black accents on the back of the seats just kind of offset it just enough so it's not too orange and too overpowering. You do have some really nice vents, which you don't get on a lot of smaller cars, but of course it's a BMW, a bit more luxury, very, very nice feature, and 2 USB-C jacks down here so you can charge your devices. Now, really nice armrest right here, which has real nice flip-up cup holders. Very, very nice features. And something that BMW thought of that a lot of manufacturers don't, they put this little rubber strip here because they have a little plastic back here just to help prevent NVH. You also do have a very nice like trim piece for this whole little light fixture right here. I really enjoy that. Now we're going to come back here to the trunk, and there's actually a lot of room in this trunk. Like there's just so much space in here. Like you can actually go to the store, get a ton of groceries, and you don't have a spare tire, but you do have, this one specifically has extra mats because it has the optional factory rubber mats, but the also upper mat will pretty much stay up while you're in there. Back over in here on the left side, you do have space for all of the spare tire tools if you were to have a spare tire, but it does have this for getting onto the tow truck, and a screwdriver back here in case you need to, screw something, which I don't know what you're going to be able to do with that, but it's there. Overall, though, this trunk is very spacious, and I really like how much room is in there. Now when we come under the hood here, we have BMW's 2-liter twin power turbo 4-cylinder, which it's not an actual twin turbo. A lot of people hear that and they're like, oh, it's twin turbo. It is a twin scroll turbo that acts like, well, kind of like a twin turbo, but it's not. So basically in the exhaust manifold, there's going to be a small port and a large port. And the small port's going to help it spool at lower RPMs to pick up quicker, and then the large port will actually help it with higher RPM revving there. But absolutely great, you know, with 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, this thing absolutely does great. And this one is technically front-wheel drive based. It does have a PTU under the vehicle that'll transfer power to the rear wheels when needed. But yeah, this thing still handles extremely well for everything being up here, the engine, the transmission, all being right up in here. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission that shifts absolutely amazing. So a great combination that BMW whipped up here. Now this thing says it's supposed to get 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds. We're gonna find out later here in the video. This thing overall weighing 3,393 pounds. You don't feel it. It's a very light vehicle. It's very, very light. And you know, it's supposed to get 24 miles per gallon in the city and 33 miles per gallon in the highway. It's absolutely great. The suspension setup on this is a McPherson style in the front and multi-link in the rear. That gives it very, very good handling. Coming in here to the cluster, you can see that they base this around driving quite a bit, of course, like you're supposed to, and implement a cluster around driving. But on the left side, we have miles an hour, which has a digital and manual readout. Over here, it is, well, I mean, you know, it's manual readout and it's still digital. It's just, you know, got an analog little looking thing. But aside from that, over here you have your tachometer, engine coolant temp. Bottom left is your fuel gauge and tells you how many miles you can go on a single tank, which right now I've driven it quite a bit and it's still got 391 miles to go, and it has not moved from the full. And if you you know, press this BC button over here, you can see what your horsepower and torque meter is, just to see how much torque and horsepower you're supposed to be getting. You have a G meter, which is, you know, pretty nice for like a track day or something like that. You can see what you're listening to for music. You can just have it tell you what gear you're in, like park, and what mode you're in. Like right now I'm in comfort. And you can go up here and look at your fuel economy. Like right now this thing is averaging 28.6. Very, very good. Now when you come to the home screen over here, in home, there's so many different things you can do over here. So right now it does tell you the date, your phone, what you're listening to. You can go and change to different media. You can have Spotify directly in the vehicle here. Bluetooth audio, screen mirroring with your phone, AM radio, FM radio, Sirius XM, of course Android Auto, which will just take you directly there. Communication, so you can go directly into contacts. It even has an option to still go back to Android Auto should you want. There's a lot of different things you can go to in there. It still has a built-in navigation system. And you go over to the car, you can have driving information, which tells you a lot of different things. So I'm going to use the control down here just to kind of walk you guys through everything. But you know, you have trip data, which is a very nice feature, which I feel like more cars should have this in their center screen. But you have like sport displays. So this will tell you your horsepower, torque, oil temperature, how much boost you have right up in here, your G's. It's a great feature right there. Driving style analysis, and that's available in Eco Pro just to tell you how good you are at being efficient with driving. And then energy flow, so it tells you like where the power is going. So like right now the vehicle's based in front wheel drive, and depending on how you're driving, it may change and add power to the rear. That's pretty cool feature that, you know, they don't offer in a lot of vehicles. You know, tire pressure monitor, engine oil level, check control messages, like if there's an icon on, they're going to tell you what's going on. No required services, of course. Settings, so you have general settings, so you can change date, time, language. There's a personal assistant in the vehicle, you know, with voice control like everything else. This is where you set up your equalizer, so sound. You can set up the touchpad. pop-ups. It'll even walk you kind of through the vehicle with getting started, and your speed warning, fatigue and focus alert. There's just a lot of different things. And the engine sound. Oh, so this one is really, really cool. So depending on driving mode, sporty, balanced, reduced, it just kind of verifies how you're driving. But yeah, you can also configure your driving mode. So in here you have Sport Individual, Eco Pro Individual, and it'll tell you like a lot of different things you can set up to have it notify you on. It's very, very cool how this is all set up. You can set up your exterior lighting here as well. So one touch turn signal, 3 times, 1 time. It just kind of depends on how you want. So one touch, a lot of people don't know, is when you do that and it'll click 3 times. And a lot of people mistake that for the turn signal fully turning on, and then they'll do that and then they'll accidentally go back to the other way, and then that'll click, and then they get confused, and then they click it back, and then they click it the other way, and then it becomes a nightmare. So that's how the one touch turn signal works. But you have daytime driving lights, your daytime running lights. You can have a welcome and goodbye, door handle lights, and pathway lighting. There's a lot of lighting features on here. Safety warnings, speed limit, parking and maneuvering, steering wheel feedback. There's a lot of different things you can set up there. Now, a really cool thing you can do in here is change how late the forward collision actually engages. Same with like the lane departure warning and the active blind spot detection. So if you have your mirrors adjusted too far in so you see more of the vehicle and you can't see a car next to you, you probably want to have it do it early. But you can change that to medium, late, and it'll tell you about approximately where the vehicle will be at when the blind spot monitor tells you that there's something there. In here you have automatic PDC activation, which is a park distance control, and you can go and control like whether it comes on automatically, like when you get up to slow speed or are backing up, you're a cross traffic warning. If someone's coming from the side or walking, it'll beep at you saying, hey, there's someone coming, vehicle coming, and then the park distance sound, so how loud that is. You can change the volume of that, which I would like that all the way down. You can also change the steering wheel feedback intensity. So like right now it's strong, you can do medium, you can do light. It just depends on how much feedback you want when it tells you you're leaving a lane, stuff like that. You can change how the cluster looks. So you can say driving mode view, you can change it like that and like that. There's a couple different things. So brightness at night, you can change the brightness of this, which is really, really cool. That's a lot of things that I enjoy, because you can change a lot of instrument clusters around, but sometimes you just can't change the brightness, which I absolutely dislike. But you can change all of these different things in here. It's just, there's so much to do. And there's also apps in here as well. So like Amazon Alexa, there's a personal assistant, BMW Assist, your service center, BMW Messages, news, automatic window. There's so many things you can go in here. And there's a lap timer. There's an M lap timer in here. So you can, be on the racetrack, use a lap timer, it'll start recording. That's absolutely amazing. I love that. You can, go to different apps, but it's really cool. You can even download more from the BMW store. I love it. Driving along with this vehicle, you can actually feel a lot of the road, but it's not like it's super sporty, like where it has a really bad stiff suspension. It feels really smooth. They really did this very well, and I really enjoy this. The handling, absolutely great on this, especially for having only 220 or 225 wide tires on it. It's absolutely great. It handles well. It sounds good. Tires grip. I mean, these are some cheap tires on this thing as well, but it's absolutely great. Absolutely great. They designed this thing very well, and the fact that it only weighs 3,300 pounds, absolutely great. It's really light, very agile for having 258 pound-feet of torque and 220 horsepower. it feels a lot quicker than that, which is very, very good out of this tiny engine. Very good. All right, so now we're gonna be able to test 0 to 60 time, quarter mile time, and just see what we can get. So as normal, foot on brake, foot on gas, build up a little boost. Let's see if this thing can actually do a 6.3 second quarter mile, or 6.3 seconds 0 to 60. Alrighty. And then brake test. Absolutely great. So let's see what we got here. 60 to 0 was 3.13. Absolutely great. Quarter of a mile in 14.49 seconds. 0 to 60 in 6.42 seconds. That's really good. Very, very equivalent to the, what was it? What did I say? 6.3 seconds. So that's not far off, especially at this elevation in Colorado. That's absolutely great. So I would say it's pretty on par with where it should be. Driving this thing along, I'm actually surprised at how well it absorbs bumps for how small it is and how light it is. It actually absorbs bumps very well. They designed the suspension very, very good. And the fact that it handles extremely well and still can absorb bumps, that's, they designed the suspension very well. Because, driving a car on the street versus driving a car on the track, you need two different suspensions, because driving a car on the street, you need something more soft to be able to absorb the bumps and things like that. But they designed this thing to do both, handle and drive on the street very, very comfortably. It's great. It's a great overall vehicle. So aside from the handling, the braking, absolutely amazing coming from this, and the acceleration, still great for how little of power it has. It actually spools up very well because of that twin scroll turbo. The acceleration is almost like an NA vehicle. Like, there's a lot of initial torque response, and they've really tuned it very well to be able to get around vehicles in traffic and get off the line very well. It's absolutely great how they designed this. This thing honestly feels like it has more power than it does, but because of how light it is and the amount of torque it has, it definitely moves like it definitely has more power. It feels like it should be a higher trim level BMW than what it is, because of how it handles and how it accelerates and how it brakes. It just feels like it should be a higher trim level than what it actually is. It's great. So I feel like for the price point on the vehicle, I feel like it's actually really good. It's funny, I never thought, one, I would like a BMW in general, two, I would like a base BMW, but this thing is actually fun to drive, and I actually enjoy it. Like, I would not at all mind having this for a daily and picking this up for as cheap as you can nowadays. They're, in between 18 and 25 grand. That is a steal for what you get out of this vehicle. I think that is great, and I would not mind this as a daily. I think it would be absolutely great. All right, guys, well, I hope you did enjoy this vehicle and this car review as much as I did. This is an absolute blast to drive. It's great. I would personally really, enjoy this as a daily driver because of all the features it has, the way it handles, and everything overall about how it drives and how light it is. It's great. It's all-wheel drive, and you can get around pretty much anywhere in this at any point in time during the year. So remember to please like, subscribe, share, comment down below what you guys want me to see for the next car review, and I will see you in the next one. You guys have a great day, and remember, don't quit on a body that won't quit. And it is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission that ships absolute BMW steering wheel with the on this thing, or they are let's see here. Throw that in there. It handles very well. And I have a plane behind me that is ruining my shot. Son of a bitch. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. It's fine. They're just doing their job as well. It's fine, it's normal. BMW xDrive 228i. And I feel like I messed that up. So we are going to start again, because why not? It's in this real nice white color that is, you know, very, very, very rich, I would say. It's all over the place, and I'm stupid and I need to cut this out, and yeah. The braking is done with a single piston caliper in the front. We're gonna restart that. The braking is done with a single piston caliper in the front. Is it? Motherfucker, no it's not. You fucking retard. That was a single piston caliper in the rear. Let's restart that again. I'm just gonna do that. You know, it's funny, I never thought, one, I would like a base BMW in general. Two, that I would like a BMW in general.